Hi, I'm Brigham Larson with Brigham Larson Pianos. This is a little gem that I pulled out of someone's basement because I had to have it. In the middle of that move, I was not happy going up, getting that thing out of, I mean, it was literally in the guy's basement, but I wanted it because I knew what it was. And of course, after the move was done, I was very happy that I did it, and now I'm overjoyed because it turned out as well as I expected that it would. Okay, 1914. This piano I feel fits the era very well. Kind of so World War I era, very muscular. Things are really well built, and it's exactly 100 years later, and it's still in great shape. Of course, it needed a lot of work, and there's this big, long, huge flyer. We keep very accurate documents. You can see that online if you want to come in and read it in person, and we can show you point by point everything that's been done to this piano. We'd be happy to. You can also read about it, like I said, online. I don't know what it is about this piano exactly that in my mind just kind of fits that World War I sort of era. It's I guess a combination of the look with the size and the craftsmanship and just the overall ethic that sort of undergirds the construction and the design of this piano. I don't know what it is. It just feels, it feels like that 100-year-old era to me. And I'm in love with pianos from this 1890 to 1930 era. And this piano is no exception. So, let's talk about what I've done to this piano. I did not rebuild this piano, but I did a very thorough refurbishing. So rebuild would be like replacement of the strings and replacement of the hammers. I didn't do that because everything was really in quite good condition. But I did refurbish everything. So obviously there's many parts on a piano, and there's not a part in there that I don't in some way manipulate and I guess alter in some way to be in its best possible state. So obviously the first thing that I do is very thoroughly clean it inside and out, top and bottom, pull it completely apart. Very thorough cleaning. The keys, I did recover the keys, so these are brand new keys. They're in perfect condition. All of the notches are very square and straight and a very straight line. Trimming, everything is correct. Also new sharps. The keys were, the key tops were not in good condition when I got those, and I didn't want to refurbish those. I just wanted to put brand new on. So these keys are perfect. I wouldn't hesitate to say A+ perfect. Then of course the key bushings. The bushings are what keep those keys in alignment. All of the bushings were also replaced. Those also really had to be done on this piano. And same thing, now that they're brand new, those are also perfect. Okay, pedals, those are the original pedals, although I had those re-plated. So you've got brand new plating on there, and took care of little issues like I don't know, I just like little cosmetic flourishes like this. I think it pulls it all together cosmetically. But all of these things that I'm talking about now are cosmetic. Now let's talk about the functioning of the instrument itself. Again, very thorough on my work here. Hammers are supposed to have a nice rounded shape, and over time, any piano older than, I don't know, on this one, flattening of hammers usually will take place depending on the use, anywhere from 20 to 40 or 50 years or so. Those hammers will flatten out. So they'll start out round, and then just year after year after year of pounding against the steel string, the felt just kind of wears away, and rather than that nice rounded sort of pear-shaped hammer, now you get where it starts rounded, but then it's just flat where it comes in contact with the hammer. So I reshaped all of those hammers to return them to that proper pear shape. is properly symmetrical and everything in it, and that has a really nice effect on the tone. It warms up the tone, and it also removes any kind of nasal issues. Yeah, I don't know how to verbalize it. It just sounds good when you have the right shape hammer. Of course, everything in a piano, tons and tons of moving parts, and they all pivot on little tiny center pins that are, I don't know, 50 thousandths of an inch in diameter, very small center pins. And, you know, hammers, and you've got all sorts of moving parts in there. So any kind of issues that we had, hundreds and hundreds of center pins, any kind of issues that we came across in that, took care of all of those kinds of pinning issues. Of course, bridle straps, if you want to have a look down in there, you can see these white things replaced all of those. It smells like, I like that smell. It smells like old piano to me. That's my life's work right there. That's what my life's work smells like. It's not offensive. I don't mean to. My wife's laughing, but I mean I'm not just saying that. I really like that smell. And you can't. By the way, it's not going to smell up your house, but it just kind of, there's a lot of emotion for me wrapped up in that smell. I guess that's why I bring that up. Okay. The distance, this distance here, which is what's called the blow distance, so the distance from the hammers to the strings when the hammers are at rest like this, that is the correct distance now. We've optimized that so that it has what's called the right aftertouch. And then also the let off, if you watch very closely here, at the last possible moment, there, that hammer pulls away from the string. That dimension is 1/8 of an inch, and that's what you have going on there. I'm sorry about this truck outside. At least it's not doing the dumpster while I'm trying to play the piano. I'll do that in a second. So anyway, I could go throughout this whole piano, and I could demonstrate that the let off is exactly where it's supposed to be at 1/8 of an inch, all consistently, and then that little bump here, right there, where that hammer kind of returns, that's called aftertouch. And if you're perceptive and you know what to look for, you know that aftertouch is a very rare commodity on old pianos like this. And aftertouch is the secret. It is the key, no pun intended, to it's the central pivotal point with proper touch. And this piano has beautiful aftertouch. Of course, alignment, so that everything is properly striking in its right spot. And then there, what you'll notice, get the camera in there one more time. Watch those dampers, and you'll see those dampers, they all lift exactly simultaneously. That's something that I really enjoy doing, is damper work. Getting those dampers exactly functioning as they're supposed to. Not only do they lift together exactly simultaneously when I engage the pedal like I'm doing now, they also, see that damper right there, that damper starts to engage, which is what you want. You can see that hammer is about 30 to 50% of the stroke of the hammer going to the string. That damper starts to engage, which is again another part of what you feel. Of course, pianists don't know that. They don't know any of the technical terms, or what feels good or what doesn't, or what is causing it to feel good or not feel good. But it's all of these elements simultaneously acting in concert that gives you the correct touch, and that's what this piano has. Okay, so that's touch. So much for touch. Now let's talk about tone. Of course, tone can be elusive, as some pianos got it, some pianos don't, and this piano's got it. Of course, the of course, the central part of tone would be getting the thing up to pitch and tune, which any piano that hasn't been tuned in longer than a couple years or so is going to be low in pitch. This piano is no exception. Got it up to pitch, got it tuned. Then, okay, pianos this big. This gets back to what I was talking about originally at the beginning of this video. Is kind of what I feel about this World War I era ethic. Things were just, things were, at least in the United States, things were going well. They were building them tough, they were building them strong, building them big, and they believed in quality. At least judging by the pianos that they left behind, they believed in quality. That's kind of where my worldview of this era comes from, is of course through the lens of pianos. And this piano is it. It's big, it's strong, it's powerful, and that gets to tone. The bigger the strings, the better. Of course, what you see like on concert stages, concert halls, is big, long grand pianos. Well, that's not just volume, it's also tone. The bigger the piano, the less the designer has to compromise in the mathematics to make tone correct. So that's what they did here. This is a huge piano, very tall, and so the designer really was able to be indulgent, I guess you could say, in making the mathematics work out correctly so that you have this tone, which is power, and there's a lot there in reserve. I could really, there's your pianissimo. Was your pianissimo, and then you've got a lot in reserve. You can really make this piano good.